Geh mir weg mit Elektronik.
Yeah.
You know, if you've spent any time around folks working with heavy machinery, maybe farming, you've probably heard something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Get away from me with electronics.
It's such a great phrase. Really captures that that initial skepticism, that frustration when new tech feels forced on you.
And honestly, you can see why they'd feel that way.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
Especially if it feels like it's just making things harder, not easier.
Exactly. Creating problems instead of solving them.
So today, we're going to dive into this really interesting LinkedIn post. It's by Tobias Tenberg.
Ah, yes.
He's a UX designer for Land- und Baumaschinen, that's agricultural and construction machinery. So he's got this great perspective,
Yeah.
you know, making complex stuff usable for people on the ground.
Right. He's deep in it. Isobis expert, low-code enthusiast, too.
Yeah, he lives this stuff. And his post hits on this exact Geh mir weg mit Elektronik feeling. So the big question for us today is, how did we get from that reaction
That really strong resistance.
to where we are now? With widespread acceptance, even reliance on this tech in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
We really want to unpack why that get away from me sentiment was, frankly, completely justified maybe 10, 15 years ago.
And what exactly changed so dramatically?
Which shifted.
Our mission really is to trace that whole journey. You know, how the technology matured, how trust was built.
And finding out what specific changes made electronics not just okay, but actually beneficial for the people using them every single day.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so Tenberg kicks off right there. Get away from me with electronics.
Hmm.
He says, yeah, anyone on a farm has heard that from a senior person.
For sure.
And he agrees, says it was more than understandable, like we said 10 or 15 years back.
Yeah.
But why? What was going on with the tech then? What made people push back so hard?
Well, the core issue, and what he points out, is that technology just wasn't mature enough, not for real-world daily use.
Okay.
He uses Isobis as an example. Back then, it was often more theory than practice.
You're right. Remind us quickly. Isobis is.
Oh, sure. It's basically the standard language that lets different machines talk to each other, like a tractor from brand A and, say, a sprayer from brand B. They can communicate through Isobis. Doesn't matter who made them.
Got it. The universal translator for farm gear.
Pretty much. But Tenberg says, if you were one of the early adopters back then, someone who dared to try it,
Uh-oh.
yeah, you often ended up with more problems than actual benefits. You were constantly troubleshooting, dealing with glitches.
Instead of, farming.
Exactly. No real gain. So it's no wonder people just stuck with the old mechanical ways, the stuff they knew worked.
Yeah, you can just picture it. Show me it works when it's pouring rain and covered in mud, then we'll talk.
Precisely.
So it sounds like it wasn't just newness aversion, it was genuine unreliability. At critical times, probably.
Absolutely, when you couldn't afford downtime.
Okay, so beyond just, like, basic functioning, what was the very first hurdle? What needed to happen to even get farmers to look at electronics again?
That's a really good point. It wasn't just does it turn on, it needed to show consistent, predictable performance, under tough, real-world conditions.
Right. Mud, rain, dust, the works.
And importantly, it needed to be integrated seamlessly. It wasn't enough for one part to work okay on its own.
So it had to play nice with everything.
Exactly. The whole system had to work together reliably, which leads to the question, what shifted? What actually changed?
Okay.
Well, Tenberg points out that today, think about steering systems. Automated steering.
Oh, yeah, huge now.
Right. He says hardly anyone wants to work without one today. That's a massive shift, mentally and practically.
Huge difference from get away from me.
Totally. And things like section control that relies on Isobis, by the way.
Okay.
It helps farmers avoid overlap when they're spraying or fertilizing, saves money on inputs.
Makes sense.
And Tenberg says that now functions pretty reliably. It saves time, saves money, it works.
So the reliability wasn't just fewer breakdowns, it was consistent performance that actually tangibly helped their bottom line.
Precisely. That's the key. He mentions that the software and hardware have kind of grown together.
Integrated.
Yeah, become this cohesive, dependable unit. Automation isn't some sci-fi idea anymore. It's just part of the daily routine in agriculture.
Everyday reality.
And as the tech matured, so did the trust, significantly.
Right.
The big difference he highlights, compared to those early days, is that today the technology brings real relief. He uses the German, Echte Entlastung.
Real relief. Like a genuine easing of the burden.
Exactly. It's not just a gimmick, it's a tangible benefit, something the people using it daily actually feel and, well, depend on now.
That's the breakthrough, isn't it? It stopped being this annoying, complicated thing you had to deal with
Yeah, another headache.
and started actually making the job easier, more efficient, taking away some of the difficult or boring parts.
That's it. It's not just about having the tech for tech's sake. It's about the real, measurable improvement it brings to their work, their day.
And that's what turns the skeptics around, that practical advantage.
Absolutely. It's that visible reduction in effort or the clear increase in efficiency. That builds the trust over the long haul.
The tech finally delivered on its promise.
It really did. It provides actual value, makes their work less strenuous.
Okay, so let's recap this journey a bit. We went from a point where, frankly, these early electronics were often unreliable,
Caused more problems than they solved, yeah. Lots of frustration.
to today, where we have these mature integrated systems that people actually trust.
And that trust didn't just appear. It grew because the tech started providing genuine, demonstrable ease. Real relief.
That Entlastung.
Exactly. That's the core. It makes the daily grind easier, more efficient for the folks actually doing the work. It went from being a burden to being like an essential partner.
Indispensable, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Which leaves us with a thought, maybe for you listening. Where else have you seen this happen?
Good question.
In your own life, maybe, or other industries you know. Think about a technology that started out kind of clunky, maybe frustrating. People were skeptical.
Yeah, lots of eye rolling initially.
Right. But then it matured. It got reliable. It started delivering real, tangible benefits. And slowly, trust built up, adoption spread.
It makes you wonder then, what technologies out there today are in that early, maybe frustrating, immature phase?
Yeah. And what's it going to take? What needs to change for them to reach that point of offering real relief and earning that widespread trust?
What's the path from get away from me to I can't work without this? Fascinating stuff to consider.